All righty, fellas. Monday Night Football. Danny's repping the dusty old Ezekiel Elliott jersey.
I had to do it for the meme.
Also, I would like all of you guys right now to go to the description of this video and read what I wrote in there, and that includes you, Danny.
Oh, God.
Because I think it will be quite comical.
Now I'm scared you talk some shit about the Cowboys or something. The fuck you say about them?
Basically,
Okay.
I made a
All right,
prediction
relax
for the game.
there. Like, I mean, I'd be shocked if Dak threw a pick on 2 straight fucking Monday night or fucking night games.
I think we're gonna get, because it's a Monday night spotlight game. I think the story coming out of this game will be that the Cowboys' offense is bad.
No, we're going to fucking shred the Chargers tonight.
I bet the over on this game, the 50.5 point over under. I bet the over.
That's a smart bet.
5 and 9 on the week, so I really need a win. But I will say I'm nervous.
We're scoring 30 plus. We're scoring 30 plus. I'm saying that right now. We're scoring 30 plus. We're scoring 30 plus.
Okay, you want to make a bet on that?
I mean, I would just rather bet the implied points on the book.
Okay, what's the Cowboys' implied points?
26.
Yeah, I'll take you on it
for the season. Why don't we do like seasonal bets or like cash?
No. This game.
Yeah.
You're not scoring 26 points.
We're not scoring 26 points. Okay,
that would be a vastly different Cowboys offense than the one that I've been watching the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, kudos if you're letting the San Francisco 49ers game completely change your mind on everything.
I mean, the Cowboys haven't been good on offense all year. Their defense has put them in great positions to score points in a lot of their other games.
26 implied points is a lock.
No, it is. I'm saying it's not going to hit.
Yeah. No, I'm saying it's a lock that it will.
Don't think so. Also, one thing I'm going to be a little nervous of, I think we need a Tony Pollard game here because I'm getting a little nervous that Tony Pollard we were promised is not the Tony Pollard that we're getting.
Yeah. For the record, he'll go off, but it won't matter because I'm also going to need, because in my home league, I'm going to need him to outscore CD by quite a lot, and I think both are going to go off.
Yeah, well, I hope so, dude, because if neither of them do, like, we're talking about 2 of the worst picks in fantasy this year.
So far, yeah.
I mean, they have not been good. Like Pollard, week 1 had a good game, I think, but outside of that, he hasn't.
Even that, like, it's more so been the opportunity, right? I will say, no, I don't expect the defense to score 4 touchdowns. So, I don't know.
That's fair.
I feel good about this game. I feel good about it.
Yeah. Predicted Jets beating the Eagles this week. Won some spread leagues because of it. Yeah, I'd love to see that. That's a pretty good call there. I love how, by the way, our underdog picks of the week, we all missed, right? All of us.
I got the underdog picks. Yes, I got.
Yeah, we all missed our underdog picks of the week, despite all the upsets around the NFL in general.
Actually, I didn't even get my safe play of the week because currently Christian Kirk is the wide receiver 24 on the week at 13.9.
Devastating.
So I'm assuming Keenan
Allen or CeeDee Lamb
or CeeDee Lamb.
I'm probably.
It's one of them, surely, right? Like.
Yeah, my safe play of the week was DJ Moore, who did nothing. So,
yeah.
Drake London flexible here on out. Yeah, I mean, if Ritter, I doubt Ritter was going to throw 47 times every single week, but I'd say we're consistently in the range where Desmond Ritter's going to be throwing 30, 35 times a game at the minimum. So, yeah, I think Drake London is a guy that you can probably throw into your flexes in every week, wide receiver 3, give or take. And we updated our rest of season rankings today. And I will let you know exactly where I have Drake London because he has since been on the rise from the last couple weeks. I have Drake London at 34. So this is a guy that's a wide receiver 3 for me rest of the season. And honestly, like there's a large cluster, like from Amari Cooper, who I have at 25, down to Chris Godwin, who I have at 37. There's a massive group of guys all kind of in the same, 14 point per game type of projection any given week.
I actually have Drake London higher than you. I have him at 30.
Yeah, I mean, I have. I would imagine you don't have George Pickens ahead of him, who I have currently ahead of him right now. I probably am going to lower George Pickens now that I say this, just because Deontay Johnson was activated off of his practice window for IR. So I probably should slide George Pickens down a little bit, but I do have Jacoby Myers ahead of him, which I don't know if you do or not.
I do. I hate to say this, bro, but you're too low on Adam Thielen.
I have Adam Thielen at 26. So
I'm at 18.
I mean, you're probably right. Like, I probably am too low on the guy.
I don't blame you, by the way. I don't blame you.
I believe a lot still, like in Amari Cooper, who I have ahead of him, in Nico Collins, who I have ahead of him. Michael Pittman Jr. still getting the targets. I think Christian Watson is still one of the best buy lows in fantasy right now. Debo Samuel, maybe you could make the argument that Adam Thielen belongs over him because of the injury and that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, this like the two blue tiers we have in our rest of season ranking. So my wide receiver 16, Garrett Wilson, to my wide receiver 24, Nico Collins. There's not a whole lot separating those guys. And then I would say like maybe a mini notch below them is that next blue tier from 25 to 37. Like once you get outside of Calvin Ridley, Devontae Smith, Chris Olave, Puka Nacua, Ayuk, who are like my 11 to 15, there's not a whole lot separating the rest of these wide receivers. Like it's, this guy's in a better offense, but this guy's a higher target share. This guy's an easy schedule, but this guy's not. Like it literally doesn't matter. They're all like similar.
Also, I couldn't figure out where to put Justin Jefferson.
I just thought in my head rationally, like if I was I think the easiest way to think about it is if you were a 3-3 team, where would you put Justin Jefferson?
Okay, that's one thing. But even like, I don't know where to rank him because it's like there's no linear valuation for him right now.
Right, but that's why we do tiered rankings, right? Because I am at 23 right now, but he's the end of this blue tier. If I was 5-1 or 6-0, I would make the argument that he's a top 15 receiver rest of season for those teams.
Fair.
And that's like right at the top of that tier. So that's why you kind of gotta take into account where Justin Jefferson is ranked within his tier, because that's kind of the types of players you would trade for him if you're going after Justin Jefferson because you're 6-0 or 5-1.
By the way, Hayden Winks tweeted this out. I totally agree, but Hayden Winks tweeted out, there's just no way Cowboys versus Chargers on Monday Night Football is going to be a normal game. And I agree. Like, I will go.
I hope, dude, can we get a good primetime game? Let's give us a nice 34-30 last minute drive. I don't give a shit who wins the game. I have no rooting interest in here. Give me a Justin Herbert 2-minute drill, a Dak Prescott 2-minute drill. I don't care who it is at the end of the game to win a nice, good old fashioned barn burner. Like if we get a 17-14 freak injury timeout, no bullshit. Please get football gods. Give us a good primetime game for once. It feels like we haven't had any good ones this year.
Real quick, Deuce Vaughn is a healthy scratch for this game.
Yeah.
And B, what's your score prediction for this game then? I'll lay mine after.
So I bet on the over, but my gut is and I did it yesterday, so I'm a little nervous right now. I think it's going under. So I'm gonna take the Chargers 21, the Cowboys 17.
Wow. Okay.
I think we're going to get a disappointing effort from the Cowboys offense is what the story of this game will end up being. The Chargers scoring 21 against the Cowboys defense is a respectable number, I would say, for how good the Cowboys defense is. And I think we're talking about shooting themselves in the foot with penalties, turnovers, drops, like the classic Dallas Cowboys on first take Tuesday morning type of game.
35-27 Cowboys.
All right. We'll see who's right here.
Yep. Yo, what's up, Smooth?
What's going on, Spicy Out? What's going on, Smooth Criminal? F Mostert, man. Hell no, dude. Our FFPC team is loving the Raheem Mostert. Also, the 14% exposure I have to him in Best Ball Mania is loving my Raheem Mostert as well.
Oh, dude, yeah. I want to see what I ended up with on Mostert.
The fact that I have 17% A-Chain and 14% Mostert just shows you how much I was invested to the Dolphins, man. Because I also have 13% Tyreek Hill as well.
You just love the handcucks.
I just loved the Dolphins, man. Like I had Tua's my third highest rostered quarterback at 12%. I had Mostert at 14. I had A-Chain at 18. I had what's his name? Tyreek at 13 or whatever. And I think I also had Waddle like 9 or 10% too. Like I just was really in on this offense.
You don't want to know who my highest rostered Dolphin is.
It's Jeff Wilson, isn't it?
No.
Braxton Berrios. I'm trying to think who'd be worse.
Think about it hard. Think hard.
Cedric Wilson. Chosen Anderson.
I have 0.6 of him, but I'll give you a hint. He didn't start the year on the Dolphins.
Am I stunned?
Yes. He's a meme, bro. He's a meme. 18th round best ball pick, and I said, fuck it, why not?
Am I okay?
Bro, I'll give you a hint. His first name and his last name start with the same initial.
I'm blanking.
Don't check chat because Spionio got it. Don't check chat.
Okay. A receiver?
Dude, he's a knucklehead. He's a knucklehead. He is not the other knucklehead that isn't Kadarius Toney.
Will Fuller? I don't know.
Chase Claypool.
Oh, right. Yeah.
13.2% Claypool, but I actually have 10.2% Raheem.
Oh, thank God, dude. I don't have any chase. I didn't draft that guy at all.
He was an 18th round pick, and I'm like, okay.
I don't care, dude. I would rather. I spent a lot of my late round picks on Hunter Renfrow, a guy that I know could actually play ball once he gets traded.
He also reeks.
He doesn't reek. He's just not getting played.
Fair.
I don't know what he did to Josh McDaniels. He's a good player. If he gets traded away to a different team, like, dude, he'd be the best receiver on the Patriots right now.
Probably. I mean, probably Chase Claypool probably would be too.
Chase Claypool wouldn't be the fourth best receiver on the Patriots because he doesn't give two shits about football.
We got a super chat here from Carlos. Hey guys, Cook or Ramon for the rest of the season, Bijan or K9. This is for me, Cook and Bijan.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of James Cook panic. I think I literally said it on the running back tier list video. People really need to understand that James Cook is never going to be the centerpiece of the Buffalo Bills offense. No. It's never going to happen. He is going to be volatile RB2, mid RB2 because he plays for Buffalo, but he has the Devin Singletary workload. Just picture James Cook as Devin Singletary. How do we think of Devin Singletary all these, times that he was like randomly a workhorse for the Buffalo Bills?
RB2.
Yeah, it's not great. And I think James Cook is a slightly better player than Devin Singletary, but Devin Singletary was never the guy that was going to move the needle for the Buffalo Bills. Yet he would have those games where he punched in like 2 touchdowns, or he'd have a long breakaway run, or he'd have like 6 or 7 targets randomly one game.
By the way, a little off course, I just wanted to mention it to you because the news came out today. So Kirby Doc got hurt for the Habs yesterday, or Saturday, sorry. It got confirmed today that apparently that he tore his ACL and MCL. So the Habs, arguably second or third best player, just shredded his knee at 22 years
It's weird.
old.
You don't see a lot of hockey players tearing ACLs.
The way it happened was so dumb too. He got pushed into the boards a little bit, and it looked like not even that big of a hit at all. But you could tell he walked off gingerly a little bit, and then he said lower body injury, and we find out today it's a shredded knee. What the?
Yeah, that's brutal. Anyways, I mean, you guys. The other part of his question was K9 or Bijan, and I would.
I answered that Bijan.
Yeah.
4099. Thinking about dropping 100 on Pollard to go over and score and go over 65 rushing. I like that. I think he's going to have a get right game.
FanDuel has a bonus bet right now: Cowboys to win and Pollard to score, and it's plus 210. I took it. It was a max $20 bet, so I put $20 on it. I'm not encouraged about it. To be honest, because I think that Pollard has been aggressively worse than he was last year.
Yeah.
And that needs to change pretty soon. Otherwise, I'm gonna start having really big time second thoughts about just projecting workloads as elite running backs going forward from guys who are really efficient on low volume.
It was a culture shock for the Cowboys this past week, obviously coming off of that Sunday night no-show. I don't expect them to come out flat today. That's the way I view it. If we're not coming off of that type of game, I maybe am less confident than I am right now. But we typically don't lose in embarrassing fashion 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I will say though, the types of teams that bounce back from losses like that are well-coached teams. And I've already made my thoughts quite clear on the Dallas Cowboys that I think they're one of the most poorly coached, talent-rich teams in the league. If you guys had a great coach, you would probably be the best team in the NFC.
But then we also got Brandon Staley on the other side, so it's a battle of
that's what I mean. This game, to Hayden's point, this could be a disgusting who tries to lose this game more type of game.
So it's like somebody's gonna kick a field goal to go down 8, and then they're just not gonna score, or they're gonna miss on the other one, or some bullshit's gonna happen. You know how it is.
Yeah. Encouraged by JSN's game. I mean, I like to see him on the field, and I like that he posted a pretty decent PFF grade. I think he's definitely worth a waiver ad. I'm not exactly sure how many leagues he's available in, but if he's available in your league, definitely go and pick him up.
We already got a pregame fight between the Cowboys and Chargers.
Really? Is that a new trend?
What is going on, man? I don't know. But
what's going on, Brock?
Can I
please have a lamb donut today?
I mean, I hope so because I play against him in my home league, but I also don't hope so because I'm a Cowboys fan. I also just kind of want him to get back on track. So I'm conflicted, man. I honestly just hope that what's his face? Just Tony Pollard has 40 points, so I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah. I think I'm down 15. He has Lamb. I have Pollard, which not looking good for me, but shit happens on Monday Night Football. I'm not going to rule myself completely.
Look at Michael Mayer. Yeah, I will be talking about him a little bit more in depth in tomorrow's waiver video for sure. He will be inside my top 5 ads. Danny, I listened to you and bet my entire mortgage and life savings on Dallas. So I hate to tell you this, Piono, you are going to be disappointed because this reeks of a Dallas Cowboys letdown.
No way. Against the Chargers this week?
You could flex your muscles all you want. Come halftime, if you guys are getting smacked, it's gonna be real radio silence from you.
We ain't getting smacked tonight.
I get it because I do this too. When I think the Bucs are gonna win, like when we were in our Super Bowl year, I'm like, we're annihilating everybody. We're gonna kick the shit out of everybody. But then you get real silent when they play like shit.
Dude, I wasn't even mad when they got smacked by the 49ers. Like during the game, obviously I was yelling and this and that. When it got to the third quarter, I turned the game off and I was just in shock. Like no like swearing came out of my mouth. No yelling came out of my mouth. It was just like, was I
the
dreaming?
Disappointed dad sitch?
But you know what I'm talking about? Where like you get so upset to a point where you're like not upset.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to describe it.
I don't usually get it. I honestly don't usually get that invested. The only way I would ever get that mad, like I was pretty mad after the Bucs got absolutely destroyed by the Saints on Sunday Night Football, the year that they won the Super Bowl. But that was like the most pissed I've ever gotten at a Buccaneers game. To be honest, I get a lot more upset over Leaf stuff than I do over Bucs stuff.
Fair. Well,
because the Leafs are the disappointment team for me. Like the Bucs are actually, I mean, even though they've been bad most of my life, they actually have been successful when they get to the playoffs. So for me, they've been less irritating than the Leafs because the Leafs are like the Cowboys, right? They're the most talent-rich team in the NHL, and they can never fucking win anything. So they're so frustrating for that reason.
Yeah, like the Leafs are like the Cowboys are like like Kentucky in basketball. Like I'm a Kentucky fan, but like it's the same shit where you got the talent, you look fucking good, and then something happens.
Can't win.
Stroud or Burrow rest of the season, I would still take Joe Burrow. Browns DSC worth a top waiver. I think Browns DSC is the defense I'm comfortable holding rest of the season regardless of matchup. And you can only say that about maybe
week, so that's a good matchup for them.
You could only say that about maybe 2 or 3 defenses every year that they're a defense you would hold with.
They're matchup proof.
Which, by the way, we have them on our FFPC team.
Oh, I'm loving that. And that's, dude, Ron was like, dude, we can't drop this defense. I'm like, no, I agree. We can't.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Oh, did he ask another question or am I tripping?
No, he just said Browns defense were top waiver.
Oh, Stroud. I said Burrow as the other part of that question, obviously.
Already have Laporta, trade Bijan, Godwin, Pitts, and Javonte for Swift, Metcalf, and Rashad White. Well, no, because like you're giving up the best player here. But I don't want to give up Bijan. Period.
Yeah, I mean,
like Metcalf, sure, he's an upgrade from Godwin, but like maybe by 2 points per game. Like the difference between Swift and Bijan's bigger.
Bijan's a bigger upgrade on Swift than Metcalf is on Godwin. And I mean, I suppose you already like trading Pitts is fine because you already have Laporta, but I don't think this is a good enough trade for you. I would much rather, like, if you're going to trade Pitts away, I would much rather trade like
Godwin and Pitts and go get a stud wide receiver.
Yeah, like go get like maybe Chris Olave is available for that price tag or something like that, or maybe Calvin Ridley is available for that price tag.
Or maybe somebody's worried right now. Oh, Puka Nacua had a bad game. It's because Cooper Kupp's out there, and you can go get Puka Nacua. Like I would do that as well.
Yeah, like Puka Nacua literally had a touchdown pop off his hands. Like he literally could have easily had a much better game.
I don't think people realize he had a 33% target share this week. Like I get it. He had his worst game in all the year, but like. Give it a break.
Oh, he's human. He's not going to literally drop 20 points a game. That sounds like every other fantasy wide receiver.
Like he's great, and he's probably like 85-90% of Cooper Kupp, but he's not Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, literally. So IDub says Garrett Wilson rest of season outlook. So with Garrett Wilson, I think people are discounting the fact that Zach Wilson has posted his 3 best PFF passing grades
in a row
in 10 starts. So going back to like early in his second season, he hasn't really been much better. Like in a 3-game stretch, we have never seen Zach Wilson play this consistently, quote unquote. Again, it's a low bar for Zach Wilson. He's not a good quarterback, but he has improved a little bit, and their schedule opens up after the bye week. So Garrett Wilson, for me, rest of the season, I have him wide receiver 16. This guy has 32% target share. his target shares over the first 6 games of the season are 29%, 30%, 29%, 35%, 28%, and 38%. This guy is the offense. He's the entire passing offense. And even if Zach Wilson throws, 18 completions a game, 7 of them are going to Garrett Wilson every single game.
Yep. By the way, there's some chatter apparently that Micah might play some more off ball today with Vander Eschert.
Sure.
I don't know how I feel about that though.
Down 30, he has Eckler. I have Herbert, Ferguson, Lamb, Aubrey. Should be good. Glad you're feeling better. Yeah. Is that directed at Danny or me? Because I'm literally like sick again. Like my throat is literally messed up.
I mean, it was probably to me, but even regardless, like I hope you're feeling better as well, Corey.
Yeah, dude. So one of my buddies, when I went to a sports bar to watch Thursday Night Football, one of my buddies was sneezing and coughing and shit. And I was like, oh, I'm fine. I was just sick. Like, no big deal. And then I woke up yesterday morning with like a wicked sore throat. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, I literally was just sick.
I love it.
I'm feeling better like today, but like yesterday, I actually like during our live stream, I was literally like, I had like my throat was like wicked dry after that talking for that long.
Dude, no cap. That's how I felt. I mean, to be fair, it was more of like a hangover on Friday to Saturday, but like my body is not like it used to be, man. I don't like, I have a night where I go out to a sports bar and eat and maybe have a couple beers and my body feels like crap the next morning now. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, am I really getting that old now? Like I'm honestly, 23 years old.
I've left behind a lot of like bad habits. Like I don't vape, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that shit. I've maybe had like 6 beers in the last 3 months. Like I barely drink. Like I don't know. I feel like it's more important to me to like be healthy. That's like honestly like where I'm at this point in my life. It's something that I care more about.
I respect that.
Did enough of that shit in my my teenage and 20s and shit, early 20s. I guess I'm still in my 20s, but
yeah, man. You got where we left off, right?
Yeah. Is Justin Fields droppable or what do we do in redraft for shot? Okay, so Justin Fields, I would say hold him for another week, but it's possible he gets put on IR. And if you don't have an IR spot in your league, then yeah, he would probably be droppable in that instance. Rashad White, panic time too. It was a really tough Lions run defense. I'm still buying low on Rashad White as like a low end RB2 because the workload is just absolutely obscene. He's kind of just like a better version of Alexander Mattison in terms of what you're expecting, because Alexander Madison's going to like lose work and he's like somebody that I don't really trust. Whereas Rashad White gets enough receiving work and gets enough groundwork and can do a little bit more than Alexander Mattison to the point that I think he's an okay option.
Yeah, for sure. How often do you guys stream on Flock Fantasy? Why is my camera frozen? Is it?
I don't know, but we stream every Saturday at noon on Flock Fantasy.
Is my camera still frozen for you, dude?
Your camera is still frozen, yeah. Anyways, just we'll get that figured out. Yeah, Pollard bounce back tonight. I would hope so. That would be my hope for sure. My dad and I have a joking argument about whether Alexander Mattison is good or not. He thinks he was a great value in the 6th round compared to me picking Addison in the 9th. Addison versus Madison. He started him over Garrett Wilson this week. Can you please end our argument? Alexander Mattison, by any metric, including your own eyes, is not a good running back.
I'm sorry, Andrew, for your dad. It's explainable, man. He's probably an older gentleman. He watched the 80s, the 90s, the
maybe he sees him tone setting a little bit in the hole and gets excited about it.
Big guy, sees the dreads, kind of reminds me of Dalvin Cook a little bit. He's got the number 2, nice number, big back, does the dirty work, but you got to tell him, man, Garrett Wilson, you can't bench Garrett Wilson for him.
Yeah, not a chance. As long as Eckler doesn't go for 56, I win my 3rd in a row after going 0-3. Hell of a bounce back there, Jonathan. You love to see that. I need 21.7.
You do have a chance.
Do I have a chance? I mean, in PPR, I'd say you have a 30% chance of him getting that. He has not shown a high ceiling week over week this year. I heard Jerry Jones on the ESPN broadcast literally mention right off the top that they need to get CeeDee Lamb involved. I don't know how much emphasis the owner has on the play calling, but I will say that bodes well for CeeDee Lamb as like a squeaky wheel gets the grease type of game today. But Amon-Ra was one of the last wide receivers that didn't have his breakout game, his monster game. And we saw that from him against the Buccaneers this past week. And CeeDee is the last one. who hasn't had a monster game yet. Like we've seen Adams have a monster game, seen Chase have a monster game. Diggs has just been unbelievable. Tyreek's been unbelievable. Of course, Jefferson was great before he got injured. CeeDee Lamb is really the last guy who hasn't had that breakout monster game yet. And tonight bodes well for that to happen. It's just he hasn't done it yet, so I'm not convinced it's going to happen.
I think we're gonna have a nice tune tomorrow morning. I hope
Hopefully so.
at least.
Easy Chargers dub, yes, sir. What's up, boys? Is it more depressing to have a bad team in a home league or in a dynasty? Oh, 100%
by
in a
far.
home league, dude. Dynasty is you just rebuild.
Bro, yeah, 100%. What? Easy.
Yeah, dude. Like bad home league team sucks. Like you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like my redraft season's over, pretty much. Like even though we still have a listener league in our FFPC team, like if my home league team is 3-3 right now, and if I was like 1-5, I'd be like sad.
Yeah, you know what's worse than having a bad home league team is having a home league team that's performing bad from a record standpoint, but still top 3 or 4 in points.
Yeah,
that's the worst.
That is definitely the worst.
Yeah, I know that one well.
Need 34 from Herbert and Lamb, full PPR. You should have that one in the bag, I'd imagine. Yeah. Ethan says, yo, what's going on? Do I trade Lockett and Brian Robinson for T and Javonte? Yeah, I would do that. I think Brian Robinson versus Javonte, there's like definitely a gap there. I think B-Rob's going to give you more stable production, at least for the time being. But T Higgins versus Lockett, I think is a large enough gap that I'd probably just prefer the Higgins side.
Yep.
Hey guys, I'm trying to get Kelsey because the owner will be 1-5. What is a good package? Got Kyron, Brees, Swift. Unfortunately, having Kyron sucks now because if you didn't sell him, he's probably stuck on your team.
Godwin and Pitts
while he's injured. I would say, what did you say?
Godwin and Pitts.
You won't get Kelsey for that. You'll probably.
I don't think so.
No, I think
you guys 1-5.
Pitts is probably what you're looking at.
I mean, Godwin's coming off of 2 big games.
He is coming, yeah, but they're not big enough to get Kelsey,
Fair.
dude. Realistically,
Fair.
that's a low ball if I had to say so myself.
Right.
I would say Higgins and Pitts is probably what I would offer, but
fair.
I would have had Kyron not gotten hurt. I would have offered like Kyron and Pitts potentially, or Kyron and Higgins even for like Kelsey plus a flex play.
Yeah, for sure.
How much cash y'all betting on that? So what was the bet exactly? Just the Cowboys need to hit
implied 26 points.
So they need to score 26 or more for you to win.
26. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't we just parlay it throughout the year so we can make different fucking?
Yeah. We'll throw it on our yearly bets. How about that London call yesterday, boys? Yes, sir. Gotta love the Drake London call. Also, remember when I don't remember who asked the question, but somebody had a really disgusting start sit decision, and I told him to start Kendrick Bourne. And I feel pretty good about that because he literally had like 9 catches.
Dude, he had like 13 targets.
Yeah.
Ryan, I think you're fucked here. I don't think you get this.
Yeah,
because Lamb is going to score. Lamb's going to score 4, and then Eckler's going to score negative 1.5, and you're not going to be feeling too great about that.
Yeah. Also, if you guys are, if you have an open bench spot and Josh Palmer or Quentin Johnston are on your bench or are on your waiver wire, just go pick them up and throw them at the end of your bench. Because if we get a breakout game for Quentin Johnston off of the bye week, that could be massive for waivers this week.
I binked on it. Was it last week? When was the week that the Giants played on Monday Night Football? When was the last one?
That was 2 weeks
Seahawks?
ago,
Seahawks.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago.
I added Wan'Dale Robinson before that game.
Yeah, I talked about Wan'Dale as a waiver ad the week before that. I remember after the Thursday night game, he already had like 4 targets and like a 28% snap share. I was like, this is his first game back, dude. Like, I need to stash this guy. So I picked him up immediately.
Hey, Andrew, 4 touchdowns. Sorry, my fault.
Facts. Traded Puka and Kyron for Higgins and A-Chain a few weeks ago, which was devastating. Yeah, dude, the fact that I lost A-Chain in my home league is just killing me every single day that I think about it. Because right now I am in such an RB2 crisis. Like I'm going to be picking up, Josh or like Craig Reynolds or Jordan Mason or whoever, and they're going to go right into my RB2 slot because I have nobody that's not a handcuff running back outside of Josh Jacobs on my team right now. So, traded Puka and Kyron for Higgins and A-Chain a few weeks ago, which was devastating, and then flipped Mostert and Addison for Chase because I got A-Chain, which is also hurting now. Yeah, I mean, you can never go wrong trading for Jamar Chase pretty much, and I think I would say long-term that'll work out for you, but hopefully you have a good record to the point that you can get by until A-Chain comes back.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift, Mostert, and Brees all starting every week. Yeah, probably. When I have Diggs... Okay, so Diggs and Ayuk are always going to be in your wide receiver spots. And I would say most weeks, you're going to start Mostert or Brees or Swift over London and DJ Moore. I would assume.
I'd agree. I'd agree. Give up Tyreek for JT and Saquon.
No, I want Tyreek still. Honestly, it's
same.
crazy that like those are two really solid RB1s rest of the season, but I still want Tyreek.
And Tyreek, you want to? Okay, wait, real quick. What do you think Tyreek Hill's on pace for in terms of yards?
Like 1,900, 2,000,
over 2,300.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
He has 814 yards in it's week 6.
Yeah, dude, he's insane, man. He's actually I'm. So part of me, like, you know how in my home league I traded down from 4 to 7. I did that because I was okay with any one of, Bijan, Tyreek,
looking back,
Travis Kelce, or Diggs. Looking back, I probably should have just stayed put and took Tyreek Hill.
On the bright side, you could argue you got the second best of those options though with Diggs.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Diggs looks fucking awesome too.
Diggs looks awesome, and I feel bad that I traded him. Honestly, I'm like,
oh right, you traded him.
I did, but I got 3 absolute locked and loaded starters for him. Right, like it's not like I traded him for like a 2-for-1. I traded him for Jacobs, Metcalf, and Christian Kirk.
Fair.
In hindsight, Diggs is the better value over replacement player. But like I'm telling you right now, dude, if I didn't do that, my RB1 right now would be Ramondre Stevenson, and I would have no RB2. And my flexes would be ass. Like I lost Mike Williams and Devon Achane, and I had to do something.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Sometimes Sometimes it happens.
It sucks. You never want to do those, like, we always want to be doing the other thing, right? Where we have all the depth in the world and then we can upgrade to the studs. But sometimes you get screwed by injuries and you have to downgrade a little bit.
Fiasco, I'm cool with this game script too. Realistically, like, yeah, I bet the implied points, but at the end of the day, as long as the Cowboys fucking win, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah. What's up, guys? What's going on, Warrior? Hey, boys, traded Swift, London, Elijah Moore for Devontae Adams and Brees. Oh my goodness, dude. That is the fleece of the century.
How? What?
That is crazy.
Good job, Yadiel. I mean, that is insane.
That's not enough for Devontae Adams, to be honest.
No, it's not. It's not. Is it enough?
It's enough for Brees because Swift and Brees are relatively close.
Swift. I forgot about Swift. Yeah.
Best pickup of the week: Craig Reynolds, Jordan Mason, or Zach Evans. So, Zach Evans is definitely going to be. We didn't talk about him. We did a little bit, but we didn't talk about him in depth. Now that Ronnie Rivers is on IR and Kyron Williams is pretty much out for Week 7. It's going to be either Zach Evans or Royce Freeman. My gut tells me that it's actually going to be Royce Freeman because he's a veteran and Zach Evans really, it sounds by all accounts like he didn't have like a great camp or anything. I actually think the best pickup of the week is Craig Reynolds, personally.
Yeah.
Jordan Mason and Elijah Mitchell. I saw it. I don't know if you saw the thing from Matt Burrows. He tweeted out that he asked Kyle Shanahan who would be the lead back, basically doing the Lords for fantasy managers. And Kyle Shanahan was very quick to say that Elijah Mitchell is pretty much the guy that we're going to rely on.
No, he said that we like both our backs. That's what I saw.
Well, what I saw was he was like, oh, Mason did a good job in relief of McCaffrey. Is he going to be like the lead back? And Jared Smola from Draft Sharks basically said, like, did you ask him like who the lead back would be? And he said that he was very quick to say that Mitchell has always been a guy we can rely on anytime Christian's been out of the lineup or something like that.
I did see that, but I also saw like he basically gave praise to both of them. And for what it's worth, it's also Kyle Shanahan's coach speak. So I don't know how.
I mean, for what it's worth, too, this might be a moot conversation, and they're both 50-50 timeshare running backs anyway.
And both are probably RB2s in that instance still, because the 49ers.
Exactly. But I think there's a chance that we're going to get both David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs out again. So I think Craig Reynolds to me is interesting. And Zach Evans also. They're all pretty solid options. I would say all of them are 5 to 20% of your fab, depending on how desperate you are. If I had to rank them, again, I'll do that in tomorrow's video. But as of right now, I think that I prefer Reynolds, Mason, and then Evans.
Yeah, no, I'm not as high on Reynolds, but this is mostly why, because Dr. Edwin Porras actually tweeted out that he expects Jahmyr Gibbs to be back week 7 or week 8. So I just, with Craig Reynolds, I just don't want to spend too much fab knowing that it's at best probably a 1 week thing against the Ravens defense.
Jesse Morris said he won't be held 100% until after their bye about Jahmyr Gibbs. And it's possible that they're going to want to hold him out another game. But potentially with Montgomery out, maybe that forces their hand and want him to get more involved or whatever. But I still think, Jahmyr Gibbs coming off a multi-week absence and David Montgomery being the guy that was getting all the red zone work. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Craig Reynolds, even if Jahmyr Gibbs plays, is like a 60% snap share guy.
Yeah. All right. You got where we left off.
Yeah. Who has the better game tonight, Pollard or Eckler? I would take Austin Eckler quite easily.
I mean, not quite easily because I have them one spot between each other in my rankings this week, but I would prefer Eckler, yeah.
Got Bijan, Brees, Saquon, Kupp, CD, Ridley, but AR-15 could be out. Do I trade for a quarterback now or wait out the bye weeks? 5-1, 12-team, 14 playoff. Howell at quarterback. I mean, you have such a good team, dude. Like, it doesn't fucking matter who you start at quarterback. Like, Howell, Purdy, Stafford, whoever you get off the waivers, Goff, any given week is going to be just fine for you. Using some of your depth, like, I don't know who your depth players are, but if you have, let's say, Chris Godwin on your bench, who's never going to find your lineup, and you can trade him straight up for like an underperforming Trevor Lawrence or an underperforming even Joe Burrow potentially, I would maybe explore a move like that. But for the most part, I think you could probably just stream given the strength of your team.
Yeah. For the record, actually, Austin Eckler had a little bit lower this week because, or no, this is your week. You have Pollard over Eckler. We both have Pollard over Eckler this week in our weekly rankings.
Well, mine got locked, but I didn't. I think it's because Eckler wasn't 100% guaranteed to be back, and I don't think I saw the practice reports yet.
For what it's worth, they're both top 4 guys in our rankings.
I mean, generally speaking, I tend to just lean towards the guy that projects better, but I probably just did that because Eckler was coming in.
Fair.
A little banged up. What to do with Ridley? He's wide receiver 15 in my rest of season ranking, so I value him as a top 15 receiver. So if you don't, then you should probably hold him until he has a big week and then sell him. But I think he's going to be just fine going forward.
Yeah.
Down 3 got Keenan and he's got Dallas D. Yeah, I think you should have that. Hopefully there's no like defensive touchdowns that fuck you over there. I would say you got that like 65% chance you win that.
Yeah, that's probably a fair argument.
What is Thielen worth in Dynasty? This is kind of an interesting discussion, to be honest. Because I would say he's probably almost worth an early second, given the production he's putting up right now.
Well, what would you say Keenan Allen's worth?
I think you should be able to get a late one for Keenan Allen, to be honest.
But if you're buying, like, the thing is like, if you're selling him, it's going to be tough to get a late one, to be honest, because I feel like...
So the thing with guys like Keenan Allen that I always do, if I was a contender and I was buying Keenan Allen, I would give my late first for Keenan Allen plus a guy like Adam Thielen. Like, you would have like guys like that, or Keenan Allen plus, whatever other player he has on his bench that's producing, who's a little bit older, who's not going to have a lot of long-term value. So for me, I think Keenan, like, straight up 1-for-1, Adam Thielen is probably worth a mid-second round pick, but I also think he's a good like package contending trade target. Yeah. Like if somebody has Alvin Kamara and Adam Thielen and you could give up your late first for those two guys plus a third or something like that, I don't think that's a bad trade.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad. That's just buying some points.
Hollywood is inevitable. He should have had another tud this week. Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly a little shocked how good Hollywood Brown has been this year. I'm not shocked because I knew he was a good player, but it's mainly just been because the Cardinals' offense has been better than we all expected.
Yep.
Was offered Tyreek and Dak for Brees and CD, but it seems like I'm giving up too much despite how good Tyreek is.
If this is a one quarterback league, just give me Brees and CD. But if this is a super flex, obviously you're going to go Tyreek and Dak.
I think you could make the argument that you'd still want Tyreek even in a one quarterback league.
It depends. Like, is it a 2 wide receiver start?
That's a risky trade to make, man. Like, if you have like not a lot of depth and that's why you're making this trade, I kind of understand it a little bit. But man, Tyreek Hill is such a cheat code.
This is the type of deal where if I have either side and I make the trade, I'm probably not feeling good from either perspective.
Because like again, the trade I made, right? Like when I traded away Diggs, like my whole league goes into the chat and they're like, "Oh my God, you fleeced him. You got Josh Jacobs, DK Metcalf, and Christian Kirk." But at the same time, I'm like, I lost Stephon Diggs, guys. Like Stephon Diggs is so great.
Yeah, no, I feel you. You got where we left
McCarthy blows in the chat.
Real quick, speaking of the Cowboys, there's like like the radio guys. Some dumbass radio guy that used to play in the MLB basically like talking about like injuries and shit. And I'm just like, why? I don't know why people bring that up on the air, but yeah, I saw McCarthy's name, so I brought it up, but that's a random occurrence. Sure.
Dynasty 1 quarterback. I had Russell Wilson to start the season, and on an orphan team I took over, moved him and a first for Justin Fields. Last Friday, I swapped Fields for Tua. Yeah, that's a hell of a workup from Russell Wilson. I mean, it's a 1 quarterback league though. So
first, yeah.
I mean, giving up a first I would say, like, how much is Tua Tagovailoa worth Russell Wilson in a first in a one quarterback league, though? Yeah, probably.
Probably around that.
So I think that's, overall you netted positive, but I think trading it for Justin Fields was probably not smart.
Yeah, that's fair.
PCR Master Mix says 10-man PPR, 1 flex team, Purdy, Eckler, Rojo, what? Oh, Roshan Johnson, Hall, Stevenson, wide receiver, AJ Brown, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams, tight end Kittle. Yeah, I mean, he says any money I should trade. Ramondre Stevenson might be a guy that you want to see if you can sell high on after the big week. If people think he's just back, I'm still worried about the Patriots offense. But other than that, I think you're in a good spot. Maybe you could trade Ramondre Stevenson plus Brock Purdy and go after like a locked and loaded quarterback, especially in a 10-man league. You probably want to have a better quarterback than Purdy. 27-14 Chargers. Dak gonna suck. Yes, sir. Bench my wife for my girlfriend. That's funny. Y'all think Mostert for AJ Brown is a good trade for the playoffs? If you're in a good spot, so you have AJ Brown already. So I would say no. I would prefer AJ Brown to Raheem Mostert the rest of the season. I don't know about where you're at with that decision. I would much rather have AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, yeah. Sorry.
The NFL is a joke this year. I kind of agree with you to some degree there. It's weird. I think the NFL season has gone a lot less like I expected, as has the college football season, but for 2 very different reasons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the college
football season has gone much better than I expected for all of the 2024 prospects. Like, dude, the receiver class has been unbelievable. The quarterback class has obviously shown some things. One team that, by the way, that we forgot about when we were talking about, what teams can make the playoffs and stuff was Florida State. That was the other team we
but I think the winner of between them and North Carolina probably could compete for the spot too.
You think North Carolina could get in?
Dude, they're undefeated right now. If they win out and they beat Florida State in the ACC championship, like they're getting in.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I guess if they're undefeated, like.
Well, they're the number 10
there's
team
no
right
way. There's no way that Texas or Oklahoma gets in with 1 loss.
No. Well, that's the point, right? Like, I think it'll be tough for Texas to get in if the ACC champ is undefeated. But I think inevitably one of Florida State or North Carolina's going to drop a game on the way there, and then the other's probably going to drop a game in the
Yeah, I mean, has Clemson played them yet?
They have 2 losses. They're toast.
They're not good. No, I mean, I don't think Clemson's going to win. I just mean Clemson could beat them.
Fair, yeah, they could. I thought you meant like Clemson get into the playoff.
No, they're not going to get in. I just meant like they're capable enough to beat them if possible, and they also might play like Notre Dame or something like that too.
My apologies, our gravy. I didn't even see it because we probably were in the heat of a discussion. Half PPR, have K9 Kamara, Mostert, Connor, Roche on a running back need a receiver. Was offered Adams for Kamara. That's a smash.
Oh, dude, it's a smash deal
all day.
I like Kamara. Don't get me wrong. Like Kamara's was probably an oversight on our part to some extent. He's been pretty solid so far this year. I don't think he's been like terrible. But yeah, I would much rather have Devontae Adams
for sure. I feel like I got a lot of Kamara in BBM because he was always when he was like a 10th, 11th, 12th round pick. Let me check what my exposure is of Kamara on Underdog.
I actually need to check mine too. I don't think I got a lot of them though.
Well, remember when he was going in like the 11th, 12th round, I said, look, listen, like at this point, it's probably just too much of a value. Like I feel like I scooped up a decent chunk. Again, I don't know how.
I only got him 3%, so I didn't draft him very much.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we also shared a lot of our drafts, so it would make sense if I had him. Let me see what I finished with on him. 7.2. Okay, so no, more than I thought. That's basically what I was alluding to. And that 7.2% was more so when he was like a 10th round pick, an 11th round pick. So I feel good about that because I didn't get him like where people were taking him in like the 6th round.
Also, my 1% Malik Davis, my share that I got auto drafted in the 4th round when we were in
Buffalo. Live.
He's elevated for tonight's game, baby.
Well, Rico Dowdle's been dealing with injury, and I mean Deuce Vaughn has been. I'm not gonna lie, dude. He's been atrocious every time he's touched the field. Like he's not looked good at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at my like lowest exposed running backs because I think it's easy to go to the top of your exposure all the time and be like, this guy's great, that guy's great, this guy's great. I'm going to the bottom of my exposure right now, and some of the guys that are going to kill me, I think, are. I mean, James Cook, I only had 1.5% exposure to. I don't think he's going to kill me, but I think he might hurt a little bit.
Yeah, especially
Zach Moss, I only drafted 1.3%, but I think he was going undrafted, relatively speaking, in a lot of drafts. So I don't think that one's going to kill me.
I had 1.2% Zach Moss.
Yeah, I didn't draft him very much. I mean, Alvin Kamara, again, I only drafted 3% of the time. That one might end up hurting me. But for the most part, I mean, Christian McCaffrey, I only drafted 6% of the time. But
Wait, guess how much Alexander Madison I had?
2%.
0.6%. Guess how much Miles Sanders I had?
I drafted Miles Sanders one time.
1.2%. I drafted him 2 times.
Yeah, I drafted him 0.7%.
Yeah. Kyron, though, 1.2% is not fun.
I feel I'm not gonna lie, dude. I feel really good about my running back exposures, and this is now like the 3rd year in a row I felt this way. Like I have 27% Breece Hall, which is starting to look really good. Gus Edwards, I have 21%, and even though he hasn't been great, he was literally like an 18th round pick. So I'll take 21% Gus Edwards at the price tag I got him. Bijan could be better, 20%.
Hey.
I mean, other than Chase Brown and Damian Harris, who had 18% of each, Devon Achane, Roshan Johnson, Travis Etienne, Saquon Barkley, and Isaiah Pacheco are my next highest rostered running backs, and all those guys have been really good.
Hear me out. The only miss I would say out of these top running backs so far, based off where they were going, was Antonio Gibson. And I guess Elijah Mitchell, but now that CMC is out, maybe he has a couple spike weeks. Elijah Mitchell, Gus Edwards, Antonio Gibson, Chuba Hubbard, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier are my top owned running backs, and I also have 14.4% Tajay.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I got 12% B-Rob too, and then like I said, 14% Raheem Mostert. Like I got a pretty good amount of a lot of the guys that are performing. I got 12% Swift randomly as well.
Yeah, as well. But by the way, what? I hate Derek Carr, but if this is a super flex, why are we trading a defense for him?
I mean, we anytime you can get Washington defense, one of the worst defenses, especially against the pass in the league right now, you got to do it.
Man. By the way, quick note, another one. We were talking about guys that might actually kill us based off our exposures, dude. I had 0.6% Keenan Allen.
How much?
0.6.
0.6? I think I got more than that, but he is going to hurt me. Yeah, 4%. That's going to hurt still.
Dude, I had double the amount of Tim Patrick as I had Keenan Allen.
Yeah, you know what else is going to hurt me too? 3% AJ Brown.
Really, eh? How much?
George Pickens is going to hurt a little bit as well.
Brown. How much AJ Brown do I have? I had 7.2% AJ Brown.
2.7% Cooper Kupp is also going to hurt.
How much Kupp did I have? 7.8%. Hey, did I have a single Puka? Not in BBM, but I had him in a, what was the other contest? Weekly winners?
Yeah. I mean, my wide receiver exposure hasn't been as good, but like 20% downs is pretty solid considering he was literally my final pick of like most of my drafts. Brandon Ayuk at 17% is my second highest roster receiver. I'd say that's definitely worked out. Godwin, 16%. Okay, fine, whatever. Elijah Moore, 16%. Not been great so far. Addison, 16% has been solid. Renfro, 15 has not been good. Michael Pittman, 15 has been pretty solid. Marquise Brown, 14.7 has been pretty solid. Then Garrett Wilson, Calvin Ridley, and CeeDee Lamb. That one hasn't. Those 3 guys haven't been great. But I'm also getting bailed out at quarterback and tight end for the fact that Tua and Sam Laporta are my second highest rostered QB and tight end, which is pretty good.
Yeah. By the way, I'm probably gonna head off at 8:10 because I'm gonna go. My cousin's coming, so we're probably gonna get ready for the game.
Yeah.
But
I'll probably head off at the same time. There's no need for
me to go. So we'll get through a couple more questions. We'll probably sign off at the 50-minute mark of the live stream.
Yeah. So drop Dotson for Wandale. Yeah, probably.
I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Would you pick up Mayer and drop Logan Thomas? Yeah, I probably would
Heartbeat.
As well. So I just grabbed Ghana off waivers.
I don't know who that is, but
I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I got no idea who you're talking about, Cody.
Did you mean like Gunna?
Gunnar Olszewski? Like, is that who you're talking about?
No, like the rapper Gunna.
Yeah. McCarthy blows. So happy he left Green Bay. Yeah, I could sense that Jared was a fucking Packers fan with all the McCarthy slander.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Ryan rumored to Denver, bro. Denver is a fucking walking factory of sadness right now.
By the way, I just want to read this because I saw Michigan, so I want to address it. Michigan is the number 2 ranked team in the country, and yes, it feels good hearing that.
Yeah. Bauer's going to be out for a couple of weeks too, so that hurts Georgia. They could drop a game without him.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to drop a game without him because their schedule is literally like cupcake.
Of course it is.
Like, dude, I'm sorry. Georgia's obviously a fucking awesome team, so we don't have to question it, but Can we just like see them play a non-cupcake schedule until the SEC title game, man? Like, I think the best ranked team that they're playing this year was like Kentucky. Like, who have they played? Georgia schedule. There, you get a comment.
Yeah.
I just want to see this.
Whitner says, let's go Browns. Yeah, big W for Browns fans there. Just got offered Jonathan Taylor for James Cook. You hit the accept button before that guy knew what hit him.
Yep. By the way, so their current hardest game left on the schedule. So now they have 3 ranked games. So you know how they're going to do it. It's Georgia, it's the SEC. We got to bloat up some of these, mid-tier SEC teams. Missouri's a solid team. Georgia's going to beat the crap out of them. Ole Miss could cause some damage. Probably lose by 10 plus, though. Let's be real.
Yeah, my boy Jackson's been kind of cooling down lately.
Realistically, the top 10 teams in college football are just so much better than everybody else right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got where you left off.
Cody says, so I grabbed Gibbs off of waivers. Can't believe he was dropped. How do we feel about? Yeah, I mean,
smash.
Gibbs is definitely a guy that's going to probably benefit a lot from Montgomery being injured. But even still, I mean, I'm still semi worried about him. I don't think that he's a lock for like superstar production still.
Jeff, we still have to play Penn State and Ohio State. Georgia doesn't have to play a team nearly that caliber. That's my argument. Yeah, also, you can't talk Mr. Ohio State.
You're going to play what, Alabama? Like,
yeah, the SEC champion. And Alabama, they're not good this year either. Like, Georgia's going to go undefeated, and they're going to get the 1 seed yet again. And then the winner of the Big Ten is going to get the 2 seed. And then the winner of the Big 12 is probably winner of the Big 12 or the winner of the Pac-12 is probably going to get the 3 seed. You can make the argument.
I don't know. I think the winner of the Pac-12 will get the 3 seed probably no matter what. And then the winner of the Big 12 or the ACC will get the 4 seed.
Yeah. We at least played Notre Dame. I'm sorry. Yes, they had a nice win against USC. Don't get me wrong. USC is not good, and neither is Notre Dame.
Yeah, USC.
Notre Dame got waxed by Louisville literally 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do my little tangent, but I think we're all set.
Yeah, you can head out here. Okay, we're gonna sign
Cowboys.
off here. Good luck to everybody. If you guys need a Monday Night Miracle, hopefully you get it. Hopefully all your bets hit. If you guys are leaving bets, Danny can sign off here. You can head out of there. Go Cowboys. All that.
Go
good
Cowboys,
stuff.
baby.
Yeah, right, I will show you guys if you guys want to get a last second bet off in the game tonight. I will show you the parlay that I'm rolling with. If anybody wants to tail me, I've been doing okay with the parlays lately. I'll show you right now what I'm rolling with. So we got that is a hockey bet, so ignore that one. So tonight we got the over on the game. Like I said, I made that bet yesterday, I believe, 50.5 points. And then if you guys want to parlay, I got a CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown, a Keenan Allen anytime touchdown, over 32.5 receiving yards for Austin Eckler, and then over 11.5 rushing yards for Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has been rushing about 5-6 times a game over the last couple of weeks or so. So I think he's a pretty good bet for that. And then Austin Eckler, anytime he's been healthy, he's pretty much a lock for like 5 or 6 targets. So 32.5 receiving yards seems pretty solid for him. Although the Cowboys, of course, have a lot of good speed on the outside to potentially bottle him up as a receiver. So enjoy the game. Peace out, fellas. Stay tuned tomorrow. I'll have top 10 waiver ads there as well.